Neither here nor there, though. I'm sure he'll flame me and send me terrible messages in my inbox if I say his name wrong, right? Oh, a long one here, Pericles. Not Pericles, Heracles.
Heracles.
Pericles. That's another one. That's another one. I know he was different from Hercules, but Pericles. Wait, who am I thinking of?
You're good. Piv and Heracles are combined into one, so their final form.
Yeah, there it is. There is a Pericles though, right? I'm just losing it here with the Greek names. Never mind. We're done. We're talking about Rocket League. I'm not bringing this one up again. I hate being wrong. 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Burn up the clock so far. Even Stevens might as well be 10-10 or 0-0. Doesn't matter. Stevens against.
Yeah, this is definitely a better showing by Georgetown. That is for sure. DePaul still has that attack going, but Georgetown is, as we see right there, having a really great mid-game this week.
Yeah, the operations there towards the middle, not giving up on these, and again, hate to knock on it too much, but the rotations there from Georgetown were just not they were lackluster, honestly, game one. Different story here through and through as we hit halftime. Put up again! Oh my, maybe that's the big one here. Georgetown is now, what, 3 times in 2 games put this ball up, just an absolute gift. You know, a big shiny red bow on Christmas Day to a kid in front of their goal. Like, it has only been taken advantage of once. It's only yielded a goal once.
Yes.
That was Karma Juni first time, or no, that was Lavish who missed it the first time, Karma Juni on the second, and I think, yeah, that's me, Karma Juni now on the second of this game here. But that was not at least the same exact situation. It's just not a super hard defensive pop out, right?
Yeah, you can see Coco and Heracles coming in for a double commit on that, and Pip just couldn't get back from the corner in time. So, unfortunate, but still 2 minutes left, 1-score game. Anyways,
taking advantage of the positioning, right? Yep. Corner, put out here, not going to create the same mistake as Kuko there. Has got a very easy clear, and oh no, good night, 2-2 here as we tie up in a fine, flashy way.
There we go. Kuko coming in, definitely making up for the double team mistake on the end from that last goal. Definitely cleaned up with a nice little aerial.
Now, over to the orange side, that's Georgetown so far. Middle, rumble up, rumble over to Karma, but yeah, Kuko's just, he had that put right in his face. He's not going to miss that one very frequently. Heracles, actually, that was kind of rumble and, yeah, right, that was Karma and rumble who kind of stayed up there. There you go. There's my too many cooks in the kitchen expression, right?
There it is.
Now over, perfectly timed from Kuko. That's a flip and more. Get that save on top of that one. Lavish now accepting this. This is going to end up decently middled Heracles with a tiny difference of an angle. Otherwise, we'd be looking at a Georgetown University squad, the Hoyas. Oh no. Just a little bit of a mess up there on defense, and Karma Juni and the rest of DePaul stay in the lead.
It's what I was about to say right there as you were talking is we're seeing a lot of missed touches coming from Georgetown. And I was going to say the midfield, but also as we saw there in definitely in the defensive zone, we're seeing a lot more missed touches from Georgetown than we are from DePaul, which is why DePaul's up in this.
For sure. And again, it's no grandstanding like obvious mistakes, right? It's just that little bit of cleaning up the edges, that last 5%. That's what they say about golf, right? It's a game that you play and you learn most of what you're doing and get most of what you've done the first 90%, the first couple of months of playing, and you spend the rest of your life figuring the last little 5%. I think that's almost the level these guys have gotten to. Basics are done, communications are there. You can basically see those flying through the air. Just cleaning up those edges. This matchup is
very true. Yeah.
Oh man, a pass out, a pass in the first one, not even really being a wholehearted shot on goal. It was just a perfect little pass.
It's true. That was a great attack by DePaul. Great attack. They saw that they were that Georgetown was outnumbered in the defense, where they had 2 that were too far up in the mid. So, I mean, you get an easy 2v1, there's only so much you can do. And with the missed touches that have been coming from the defense, all they got to do is just bet that it's going to happen again, and then they have a wide open goal.
Yep. Just, differences in positioning. Now, last 2 seconds, this is the same situation that Georgetown found themselves in last game, down by 2 with about 25 seconds to go. Result going to be the same. Biggest score difference, or if they score, still be looking at a 4-2-3. But that is still still a loss. Yeah, loss of one is still a loss.
It is. It's definitely still a loss. And also in this, I feel like there was definitely mistakes from the first game that were cleaned up by Georgetown in the second game. But
Oh, my goodness.
in that, it was still enough. Wow, 6 saves by
Yeah.
Kukoc. 6 saves. So
I'm
he
glad
took
we're on
over
the
that
same.
defensive role from Piv.
I'm glad we were on board with that. And once these numbers pop back up, that is a wild stat line right there, especially looking at DePaul, who only had 1 save. Not necessary. 15 shots on goal here for DePaul. 4 of those made in, so just shy of a 25% success ratio on that. This is saying 2 goals, for 3 shots, so better percentage-wise, but the quantity is there for DePaul.
Yeah, and it's good for you see those saves. You're like, oh man, they're putting up those saves. But when you have that amount of saves, you're like, why are you stuck in your zone?
Yeah.
And so I think that's something that Georgetown needs to focus on in their communications right now is take this moment, breathe. They're still in this, not over yet. Yeah,
Yep.
it became a lot more difficult. But I mean, when you look at DePaul, they had 1 save. They spent most of this game in Georgetown's zone. And as we can see, that's a difference in a 4-2 win.
Exactly. Time of possession counter is still something I want on the ball. I think it'd be relatively easy to do. Just last person to touch ball and it starts counting on there. But if we had those seconds, we had that information, I can guarantee you, Poppy, that DePaul would have had the lion's share of that time.
Yes, sir.
Now coming in, this is a rock and hard play situation for for Georgetown University in their matchup against DePaul. They lose this one, they'll go down to 1-3. They win this one, and the next 2 rounds they will stay up and go to the even 500 on the win-loss record. Now, shots like that, that's all that Georgetown needs to do. Have Kukoc continue to shoot for those perfect setup. Execution just not finishing out.
That's true. I think even just making those opportunities, what we need to see from this, just from what I've been watching, is Heracles seems to be more of a head on the offense in this team. So we need to see him, if he doesn't make the shot, putting a shot off the backboard or side that's going to put the defense off enough that he can have Kukoc or Piv in the rotation come through and just smack in the goal.
Yeah, it's not necessarily a point man, but the sets up. Oh, almost cornered out for a close. Up, rumble there. That necessary touch. Carmagini now trying to take this one out around the corner. Gets over 1. Kukoc on the other side. Kukoc with the necessary defense, but Rumble trying to keep this play alive. That was an attempted pass to Karma, but the bump against him set him off just a little bit. Medium-sized clear, we'll call it. So Rumble, the big
good race to the ball.
side. Yep.
Piv is definitely playing an aggressive role in this game, that's for sure. He has been all around that back zone, but they have not spent much time. Oh, a little bit of a demo puts him up, though. This could be a chance.
2.5 seconds, he'll be back soon. Yeah, so let me ask, Poppy, is there anything else definitively that you see game plan-wise that is being changed from Game 2 to now Game 3 for South Georgetown?
For Georgetown, I saw in Game 2 their mid-game. Right now, they almost seem to be going back towards their Game 1 antics. They're playing a little sloppy in the mid, which is leaving open shots like that, where there's not that pressure, where they're leaving the opportunity for them, even if it's not a good shot, like I was talking about, putting up something where they're out of position, they can't get there.
Yep. Speaking it into existence here is Poppy. Could not have agreed more, because, like you said, even some of those open net situations are going to be taken advantage of 9 times out of 10 by your DePaul University squad. These are higher level Rocket League players. And Karma Juni putting up another one, the dunk in the face for DePaul University.
What's funny about that one is DePaul really didn't have a strong rotation on that. If Heracles would have been able to hit that over that first attack right there, they would have had wide open because all 3 of DePaul were right in front of their net. But the fact that they didn't jump on that attack and Heracles was just a little bit behind on that, it left just an overpowering attack where they couldn't do anything about it.
Really just a setup, right, and the coordination between the two. So it does seem like Georgetown is playing far more aggressive. They realize the situation that they are in, and just the defense just simply isn't there so much, right?
Yeah.
I can't argue against the game plan. I can't argue against that wholesale switch in the plan of attack.
Yeah, and which is, I mean, it is kind of a double-edged sword there because you want the aggression. You want to be shooting on DePaul because you haven't really seen that. But at the same time, they're giving up that defense that they had. And it's just not working out very well for them. So I feel like they just need to. They still have a chance. It's in there, but they just got to regroup a little bit.
Halftime now. It happens. Gotta happen now. Up. Man, Piv and Georgetown is making such great opportunities for themselves, but just like that, just stellar defense from the side of DePaul just continuously kills these opportunities at the birthing stage.
And Piv really did do a smart move on that last take where he slowed it down, but there was just 2 defenders there, and in that it's kind of hard to fake out both defenders, especially at a higher end Rocket League. In lower end, not so much, but he definitely had the right objective in that to slow it down.
It's still the idea there, right? The on-paper execution just being maybe a little bit different. Taken over from the top, Kuko on the other side of this to play. Now he's got a good offensive pass, but that was not a great touch from the DePaul University squad. And, that's actually Kuko that either got in the way accidentally, or did not get the right angle on a pass to him for a shot onto goal.
Yeah, I think he flipped backwards. I think he was going for a redirect, but he just hit it on the wrong side of his ball. So good luck from a pass up from Piv to Kuko, but just a little bit of a mistouch on that.
Some minor mistakes, but at these higher levels of Rocket League, those will be punished all day long.
Heracles
A long run in, but Heracles comes flying in like a comet and just blocks this off perfectly. Spins it down across the middle there. Nobody really left with an idea of what to do. Rumble trying to take this out and set up for a friend, but Karma Jr. just comes screaming past him. Only member left, Lavish, other side, takes this with a nice hit towards a corner. This is ticking away closer and closer to the death knells of Georgetown University.
Yeah, DePaul is just playing way too strong right now. There was a small glimpse of hope for Georgetown. I think at this point, though, DePaul has just they have their number. They really found the weaknesses and took advantage of them as quickly as they possibly could.
Not agree anymore. The game plan did switch. How they got these goals did switch, but the ending effect, right? Them consistently being not huge up. This is no 10-0 stomp now. It's not like DePaul, or it's not like Georgetown hasn't scored or anything else like that. It's just simply been 2-3 scores up, and we even it's two scores. Both game 1 3-1, game 2 4-2, game 3 here looking at a 4-0. The last one taken in what could be called in other traditional sports as garbage time.
Yeah, and in that, like you were saying, yeah, DePaul was definitely scoring goals a little bit differently, but even though they got up, they just took advantage, and it seemed that they were smothering any type of forward advance that Georgetown was putting on. DePaul just didn't let them even see the light of day.
Yeah, just not a lot to be done on that one. Let's see. I'll run through these again just a second ago. I'm not sure if I was super clear in what I said a minute ago. So game 1, DePaul University did win 3-2-1, or 3-1. Saying 3-2-1 might be a little bit confusing.
Mm-hmm.
Game number 2, DePaul University won 4-2 against Georgetown, and game number 3, DePaul University won 4-0. So shutting out there in there in the last game. Georgetown kind of all over the place again. So game 1, they did find the one. It was a longer range goal, and it did, obviously did count. That was the first of theirs. And then game number 2, it just kind of seemed like their game plan might have worked a little bit better, just on paper, seeing the 2-4 scoreline as opposed to the stomp here in game number 3 or the 2-over in game number 1.
Yeah, and in that in the first game it was very much DePaul. Georgetown started to make a little bit of a comeback in that end. Game 2, Georgetown was really definitely making a lot of changes in there where you're like, okay, Georgetown is adjusting their mistakes. But then come game 3, it just seems they reverted back to how they were playing in game 1, very sporadic. They weren't very tight, and DePaul just took full advantage of that, tore them apart.
Yeah. Yep.
So, something that we saw a lot through that series was Georgetown. Man, I think in one game the most shots they put up was 4. And if I'm correct, if I think I'm remembering that correctly,
they had 5, I think, in game number 2. But
okay, so that was
still your point still stands there, Poppy. I'm not disagreeing with you whatsoever.
No, you're good.
That was just the tale of the tape there. How the numbers tell the story, how they formed this narrative, and you can use that all day long to kind of look at what it is that really set these two teams apart. But as it is, 3-0 victory for the side of DePaul. They will be going up to a 2-1 scoreline after they have already had their bye week. And we are going to a very short break before we set up a little interview action, a little bit more content coming out from the EGFC. No interview, excuse me. Okay, I'm getting screamed at. We're not getting an interview. We're going to be getting you guys interviews on the next one. That is a Delaware and San Jose University matchup that'll be starting here in just a couple of minutes. We're going on a very short break. Do not tune away, good people. And we are back, Rocket League fans. FBI Tugboat here with Poppy.
Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back.
Shout out to the man Juke there, producing away, making our jobs as casters just
Big
so much
DJ
easier.
Juke.
It's always what I say, so there's no reason to change things up now. I'm a creature of habit, Poppy.
This is true. This is true. Might as well, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Throw what you know, that's what I always say. We got San Jose University taking on the University of Delaware. Now, you were mentioning how this might be a little bit of a barn burner, right?
This seems to be a very, could lead up to be a very, very good match. It seems in all, except for one match for San Jose, they have won 3-0 and 3-1. The only game they lost was a Game 5. So very close. While University of Delaware has been, for better terms, smacking their opponents. So this could potentially be a very good game.
Yes, we got a couple minutes to kind of set this up and develop more of a narrative for you guys. So I'm going to run through University of Delaware's run through of the EGFC so far here into week number 4. University of Delaware coming through a slapping, a 2-2-1 victory in game number 1 of a 3-1 trouncing of RIT. Not a trouncing, a victory, right? Not as close as it could be, but a victory over RIT. That was one of the Eastern Conference games as well there. Game number 1, 2-1 victory. Game number 1, 1-2 loss. Game number 2, 5-4 victory. University of Delaware against RIT, and then number 4, 4-1 being the longest score difference of that one. So it looked like University of Delaware held strong, either won or lost every game 1, 2, and 3 by 1, and then came through a slapping there in the game number 4. What that tells me, Poppy, is that this is a squad that is easily adaptable. They can learn the weaknesses of their squad, or of the opposing squad, excuse me,
Yes, sir.
and really know about what they're about, what their strengths are, and playing to that. As this game went on, they did markedly better.
Yes, and I think that's something that we could really look forward to this. When we look at San Jose for their week 1, even though it was a loss against UT Arlington, it was a 3-2 first game victory for San Jose. And then it was a 3-1 for second game victory. And so it seems that Arlington adapted and started to come around. So we see a 2-0 Arlington, and then a 4-2 Arlington, and then the game 5 was a 3-2 Arlington. So it seems that Arlington made an adjustment on San Jose, and then they started to adjust back and just missed it in that game 5. So with a team that seems to come out hot, but then almost can show their weaknesses too much, to a team that seems to adapt very well, I think this could be a good match.
Yeah, on paper, I think when we see what Poppy is going to be predicting here, at the absolute least, we're going to have some really high-flying Rocket League players. If those scores are also not high-flying, I would not be surprised if one of these squads gets, or if the total points reaches that double digits, reaches up to 10, at least 5 apiece. Who knows, though? Grau first. This is the University of Delaware here on the right in the orange, made up of Grau, Rain, and Vixa.
And then we have for the blue squad, which would be San Jose, is going to be DD. That's a D and a D. So it's either DD or double D. And then we have It's Johnny. And we also have Toaster Doggo. That's a great name. That is great.
It is. Say what you want about Rocket League players, Poppy. They got some pretty funny names.
Their creativity comes out in their names, that's for sure.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I think it's Toaster that has been playing with them since last semester. Not 100% sure. We'll get more into lineups and EGFC's past a little bit later. Okay. Grau and Rain very, very well experienced though. About a minute in. Nobody with a clear advantage quite so far, even though. Oh, cornered perfectly. There you go. Caster's curse, right? You speak it into existence, wherever you want to call it. I don't care. University of Delaware coming through, scoring first.
Yep. UD Vixa with a great read on that miss. He was ready for it. Even if it was a hit, his other teammates were still in position to be able to get back. So that was beautiful placement. Beautiful placement.
It was a win-win situation, right?
Yes, sir.
Once he realized that the angle was untrue, came in, made the most out of it. Love to see it. Toaster Doggo escorting this one through the air, called Air Force One or something. I don't know. What other airplanes get escorted? I don't know. Rain now put up. Rain doing almost everything in a bag of chips to get that score by himself. You want something done, you gotta do it yourself, Poppy. And he almost did, like literally everything. Like,
he literally
he
brought it to himself.
His loins, right?
And yeah, it's true.
Everything except
they kind of had a front row seat on that one. They were just sitting there staring.
Yeah,
walking
hey,
in awe.
it's a beautiful thing to behold. Perfect pop up. Toaster Doggo goes up for that one, but doesn't get to it very quickly. Keeping it alive is Rain from the top. Might even say that it came falling down to hit that ball, give it a good angle. Now back over. Orange has controlled this one. A really nice dribble on this, but that's going to be It's Johnny at the end. The perfect corner. Toaster Doggo now. His opportunity to come through with a fine defensive stop.
You know, that potentially could have been a really good chance for San Jose, but the third man was too far back. Wasn't able to capitalize on that mistake by the Delaware defense there. They were running through the middle. They were making bumps, making touches, but third man was just too far back to make anything happen.
Wasn't necessarily a rotate. Oh my goodness. Grau coming slapping across the middle here, making it look easy to get across a shot like that against the San Jose State University, excuse me, squad. That really was. He just made it look easy. I think that's the best way to call that one, Poppy.
You really got to love those dominance touches. Man, just a little bit of touch on the ball can do wonders. So that was great positioning by Grau. And another one.
Yeah, so 3 now before halftime. Not a good look so far beside San Jose State University. Now, San Jose, is that the Sharks?
San Jose Sharks would be the NHL team. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, it would make sense, and they might take it from the you know, there's like a lot of colleges where I live who are the Panthers, right? For Carolina Panthers. Oh my God, Rain with a 4th year? What is going on? Look away for a second.
San Jose State would be the Spartans.
Got it. The Spartans. Gotcha. Looking
close enough. You had the S.
I'm sorry.
I said close enough. You had the S.
Spartans.
Spartans, Sharks. Both
I get it.
Yeah.
My bad. Yeah, I appreciate the positivity, even though I was wildly incorrect. There you go. That's the kind of person I need in my life. Just tell me, shh, you're correct, and just put a finger on my mouth whenever I think I'm in the wrong. There you go. This is one thing I do not need. Probably 2 minutes 10 seconds in. Still plenty of time on this clock, but just what we've seen so far, Poppy, I don't think there's a lot of hope. The San Jose squad.
Not for game one. Not for game one, that's for sure. I'm looking at this, and it is a lot of Grau. Grau is definitely a lot of the offense we can see from here, but it just seems that San Jose just needs to really dissect this during the break in between these games and figure out what they're going to do about this, because Grau is all in their business and not giving them room to breathe.
Yeah, even an attempted pass out like this, just trying to get the ball away from their goal, that was just, again, they kind of made it look easy, man. They kind of made it look easy.
It was a good attempt by Double D, though, or DD. What do we want to go with on this one?
I'll call it DD.
DD.
I think designated driver might be the implication there, which is good, right? Consumer alcohol responsibly, 100%.
It's true.
But I'm not 100% sure. That is a D though, not a 0. I did call that do or do. Oh my goodness. Well, okay, so that was actually more setup for them, right? The side of San Jose tries to round this around, but they don't give it enough oomph right there. You know, is John actually? Did he even touch that? I'm not even sure if he actually touched that.
I don't think he did. I think it bounced in front of his car. Yeah.
Gotcha, so,
that's a hat trick for Vixa, though.
It is. Hat trick for...
Beautiful read by Vixa there. Beautiful read. Toaster really was trying to set something up there, but...
Nope. I just somehow need my... Oh, I know how I did that. I tried to... Yep, okay. I'm back. It's all gravy.
Welcome back.
Thank
Welcome
you. Appreciate
back.
That. Looking at the numbers. That's what I was trying to get at. That's how I muted myself on accident.
No,
5 shots, 3 goals. Pretty solid numbers, especially once you consider that Vixa has the assist. I believe that was to Reigns and a save. The only one on his squad.
Are we back down to... Oh, wow. We are. It's almost like we're seeing another first series match again, where there's 2 saves for Vixa, but 2 saves to... I mean, that quick math, 12 shots. That is quite the lopsided game we have going on here.
Indeed. Is DD coming
through.
Nicely done. Maybe the designated destroyer. I don't know.
Hey,
that might be a nice one up front. 35 seconds to go. Would take a Herculean effort. 7-second average on goals just to come through with 5 and to tie it up. So might be done on this one. But again, not San Jose out of this one quite yet.
That's very true. It's definitely
a resilient
big feat, but still possible.
That's
Is that what
I
I'm
didn't
looking
think
for?
about no, I get it, like feet, F-E-A-T, like
Oh,
taps.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
You
Yeah,
say big feet,
not
I just instantly think of like the things on the end of your legs that you walk on,
yes.
and I was a little bit confused. But
What does
master of the
feet have to do with
commentary,
running?
apt analysis here coming out from Poppy. I still like
Yeah,
it.
there you
5 seconds to go.
go.
Johnny up but not down, tries to get around, but the classic move to go a little bit too far fast to make it rounding around very, very difficult. San Jose losing this one handedly at a 6-1 loss scoreline in game number 1.
Yeah, that is it's quite the feat for game one. I mean, as we were saying, what is that?
A
12, so
defeat.
12 shot defeat. What I'm looking
Yeah,
for.
you got
English is
done. Come on.
hard. Okay, it's hard
English
out
is
here.
hard. It can be.
Yeah, it's very confusing
Hard out
English.
here for an English speaker.
This is true. This is very true. So, like, we're seeing another a bunch of saves from one side, but no shots. We have 4 shots coming out from San Jose to their 5 saves, but that's 5 saves on 12 shots. So they're going to sneak those in. They're going to get in there. It's definitely a lot of adjustment that's going to be having to come in from San Jose. Grau was massive in that movement for Delaware. He was moving the ball around, and not only was he moving the ball around, he was very destructive in San Jose's zone. He was all up
Yeah.
in their face. Wasn't giving
And
them any room.
what wasn't even necessarily the actual demolitions that Poppy is talking about here. He's got a great point because it came up and it was just the act of throwing in this chaos into a team that is very clearly trying to form a game plan on the field, on the pitch right there. Yes, that did come through in the form of demolitions, the actual destroying of another player, the 2.5-second respawn, everything else like that. But more so is just simply again that chaotic factor. If he just comes in and just throws this monkey wrench into the plans and this big turning machine of the side of San Jose, and just you can see the plan kind of working once it's there, but
Yeah.
it's just an easy move in by this player to then again just disrupt everything, and it's worked. Like, it turned out in spades so far. 6-1, that's about as far as you get of a score difference here in the EGFC.
Yeah, and I mean that's still a very big score difference for this level of league. I'm guessing looking at a bunch of these guys are in the GC
Yep.
level. And there we
A
had
lot of them champions, a lot of Graham champions. You'll see the
mhm.
tags on their player names and stuff as we come through too. They're very very proud bunch.
Yeah, yeah, of course. And so you see that in that. I mean, even in that realm
It's
of
1C.
experience in the game, there is definitely seeing that large of a defeat is not very seen. It's not seen. It's seen not seen often, is what I'm trying to say. A lot of time, it's usually that 1-2 score game. So
Yeah, it's not the scene, you could say. Not popular. It's not hip. It's not
it's
not
not
the thing to
hip.
do.
Yeah,
There you go. That's what the kids are saying now, right?
that's what all the kids are saying. It's
Yep.
true.
On their talk ticks and their clock apps and bird
They're
apps and
tweeters.
their tweeters, gosh darn tweeters. All right, so we got a minute here setting this one back up. One B. Okay. Yeah, that's gonna go to a very short break. I wanna wipe the old forehead. I'm sweating. It's getting hot in here. Getting hard out here for a Rocket League caster. We are gonna be right back with you guys for just a minute. Do not tune away. It literally won't be long. I promise. And we are back. The tugboat does not break his promises. It was not a very long break at all.
That was pretty short.
FBI
That was pretty
tugboat
short.
here. My man Poppy. My man Juke down there producing away, making our jobs as casters a lot easier. We are here live with the EGFC week number 4. That's the Electronic Gaming Federation Collegiate side. You can check down excuse me, you can check down all the other stuff that they're doing. They're doing high school, middle schools, competitions, other things like that might be in the horizon. Don't quote me right there. I am not the owner and creator of EGF. I promise.
It's a lot of things you're saying. Nah, stay off the record. Stay off the record.
There you go. There you go. Yeah, pretend like I'm not broadcasting this on live for the internet to be saved on there for forever. Oh, what I'm saying is, guys, is the EGF is a very exciting organization. They got a lot of plans for the future. Can't speak to them right now, though. Sorry. 5 minutes. Second game. 6-1 scoreline. Game number 1. San Jose getting trounced on that one. See if they bring it back. Different scoreline up there this time.
This is true. We're hoping to see San Jose step up in the offensive area. They were just getting smothered by Grouse. So we're hoping that during that little bit of a break and the server change, they're able to talk it out and be able to see what they need to change to get the one up on Grouse.
Do you know what I mean when I say no Johns?
No Johns?
No Johns. So longer story short, is something that came from the Smash community. No, John is an excuse. Oh well, I would have blah blah, but my controller was broken or the connection was blah. I gotta say, I saw a couple times we're looking at even triple-digit ping numbers for the side of Blue Squad. That was San Jose. So that might be part of it. Might be not. Who knows? Delaware, San Jose. Nobody scoring quite yet. It burned.
We definitely saw right there that there was a great missed opportunity by San Jose. Toaster was able to do a lot of the work and get that ball in there. And
oh my!
As I was saying, sneaking it in.
Wow, that was impressive. Let's watch this one. That's the flip reset at the end, right?
That was a Toaster goal? I thought Johnny would have got that one. Toaster said, "Here, let me do all the work, Johnny.
Come in here." He got the reset on the like coming down under. I know you guys can't see me on webcam, but I'm like desperately trying to do this shit or do this stuff with my hands. Excuse me. Oh my God! It's Johnny again. So a live squad if there ever was one in the San Jose State University Spartans.
This is what we wanted to see. Johnny, very speedy on the attack. He's getting the beat on him. I feel like he was like, I should have got that first goal, so let me come up and I'm just gonna get one more just to throw it in there.
Yeah, just to prove a point, right?
Yes, to prove a point.
Looking at it, Johnny over the top. He's a dangerous man. We've seen what he can do with just a little bit of wiggle room. As it is, DD out. Rain taking this one so far. Middled. He's not going to be able to get under that. Yeah, nice hit, but that's Growl right there, bouncing in. Oh no! Man. Was that actually teammate who hit that away?
No, he tried to hit it. It looked like he tried to keep it down, but he came in a little too late, so it was the top bar backboard that was what was blocking him from it.
Oh,
what I like watching on that move right there by the University of Delaware was Vixa. I was watching Vixa on that play, and once he touched the ball, he instantly went to take out people from the net, which I think is not taken advantage of as much as it should be, because there's no one in the net. No one can block it.
Food for thought on that. The ball will not change trajectory on its own. Now a long up and down here from half field, half pitch, half court.
Let's see, yeah. Oh, full court.
Yeah, that's about 3/4 on that one. Vix with a long ball from downtown.
He said, "Drink Red Bull, gives you wings."
In the next, hey, there you go, there you go. They heard that one ringing in the next area code.
That was he came flying.
Yeah,
he came flying.
That ball had its own mailing address.
Especially when you do that, man, you got to have some confidence in that. Saying, all right, I'm going full send. It's do or die right now.
It's not so much a point on the board, it's also that mental statement, right? Like we can literally score from everywhere. If you leave that goal open, don't have a man rotated, and make it bite you every time.
Like you were saying earlier, Tug, Johnny is really doing a lot of work for San Jose right now. He is really running on the offensive zone, and so I feel like just a little bit more effort. I think from Didi. We need Didi to rotate a little bit better on this one because Johnny has been setting it up. I've seen about 3 that should have been a goal already.
Markedly different from game 1. That was my big point. Again, just a little bit of is that warming up, is that coming in. We have no idea if these teams actually did warm up, but there's a lot to be said. Even if they have played against the University of Delaware 10 times before, everybody plays differently on given days. Everybody has good days, everybody has bad days, everybody has specifically good gaming days, right? And there can be other things that affect and have them perform more negatively.
Yep.
Literally up in the air. And how that goes determined day by day. All the way in, Johnny. Almost making him pay the price for that. DD getting a little bit too high. Oh, man.
Could
Designated
potentially
drifter,
been a
maybe.
good dunk, but yeah, just a little too high on that. Johnny was putting his.
Oh my God! Now Crow gives it right back to him. It's almost like, well, hey, you know what? You guys could have scored an easy open one. We're just gonna go ahead and eat us an easy open one. Keep it pushing. DD, the man of the hour, though, putting on his cape, taking off the sunglasses. We got Superman on board.
Oh man, I'm sitting here watching that. In the back of my head, I'm like, oh, that's a goal.
Oh
And then
my!
you just see DD come flying from the corner. That was beautiful. That was beautiful.
Oh man, it really, really was. We are witnessing art making, ladies and gentlemen.
Great
Grau
shot
here
by
as
Grau.
well.
Great
And the
shot.
thing is even if Grau was off, right, Rain was right there next to him, perfect positioning, almost got the pinball award for that one for hitting another player into ball to then go forth and score. So it's really well coordinated, you know. And if he'd have been off the right, guess what would have happened? It would have stopped his teammate in mid-air and then stopped, and there would have been no goal. Perfect position. Perfect position.
It's true. It's true. Ooh, what a fake by
Don't
Rain.
speak lies. Oh,
Yep.
man. Toaster still keeping possession of this one. Has to push up and cheat on it, but not going to matter too much when you got Johnny and Didi. Didi, if that had been a little bit farther to the left, Vixa might have been able to stretch for it, put that glove out, but as theory crafting at its worst at this point, Poppy.
It's true. This is a great offensive attack that we just saw there by San Jose. It's bad that we didn't get to see a finish, but I mean, the aggressiveness on that is exactly what we were just talking about. We wanted to see that in game one. They took that time, they adjusted, and there is so much more aggression coming from San Jose that is causing this to be an even game right now.
Poppy, we got on board this second game. Might as well be three. It might as well have been a division between the DePaul University and Georgetown University squads going at it earlier, and then just game one of San Jose State and UDL, and now this is might as well be game one of an entirely new series. Playing like an entirely new unit of San Jose, and I know I only speak truths. 7 seconds in, I'm gonna break you of this. I'm gonna break you of it. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. 15 seconds in, Grau over here. No! Oh, Vixen, no! Oh man, he's gonna be kicking the dashboard for that one. The difference of a couple degrees maybe, especially after UDL came through with such a handed first game. That'd have been so nice 20 seconds in to shut this down.
Yeah, San Jose is not giving up yet. They're still that was a great defensive play by that. Still keeping it in their zone too. I'm loving this. This is great. This is some good Rocket League right now. And something I was gonna say earlier was that's a quality of a good Rocket League player is being able to adapt on the fly like that. In these series, yeah, the first game is usually a feel out. The first game for these guys was a little bit of a rough feel out, but I think they're able to make the right adjustments, and that's showing quality for the players.
What I'm looking at, oh man, I saw this setup come up and I lost the words for it for a second, but Grau had a really, really well-placed pass acceptance there, but wasn't able to turn it into points this time. Still looking to not give this one up. UDL does not want to tie this one up after they had such a performance in game number one. Now a minute and a half almost, man. Minute and a half extra 90 seconds. That's a big one from the long ball. Didi taking it. San Jose tying it up in game number two. The overtime longness. Look at this. You don't get farther from this because it's farther from corner than it is from the opposing goalpost. If this had been way up in the air, that's the only way that would have been farther. Only way that would have been farther. My God.
Man, Cookster pitch, patented by the Italian stallion himself, brought to you to American College Rocket League. That's what I'm talking about.
There you go.
I love that shot. When it's successful, this gets you so pumped.
It really, really was. Show that one on the replay if you got it. Clip it, whatever you need to do to watch that again. Put it on YouTube. Title it "How to Perfectly Pinch from One Corner to all the way, make it all the way in the Grand Champion Lobby." That one will be, that little 10-second clip will be right there for it.
I'm so glad.
Beautiful stuff. Beautiful stuff right there.
Yeah.
I personally have to calm down and take myself a breath, drink some water or something like that for that. We're going to go to a very short break, guys. Game number 3, which will be not our last game guaranteed. This is tied up here. Basically purchased ourselves a best of 3 series after the game 1, game 2 tie all the way up. Back with you guys in a second. And we are back. We told you it wouldn't be long. Game number 3. These two squads just wanted a little bit of time to kind of come back, form what they're going to do again. That game 2, I think it's safe to say that University of Delaware was not expecting that one.
Especially after game 1, Tug. Especially after game 1. I mean, they come booming out here with a 6-1 victory, and then San Jose steps in. They took that little bit of a break to kind of regain themselves. Man, and what an electrifying ending. OT with the Cookster pinch. Whew, I'm all about that. Let's see more of that.
120 seconds or something like that. 2 minutes into overtime. What was it? Yeah, it was at least
Yeah.
90. I remember calling that one out as we were getting in there, but just wild stuff. A little bit longer, and especially like you said, 6-1 game. I think this was University of Delaware squad that was decently confident at that point, right? They made a statement. It came through, put up some big numbers.
Yeah, and like I talked about at the beginning of that, I was saying DD needed to step up a little bit, and it's almost like halfway through that second game,
ladder out.
I can hear you. I'm gonna do this now, and DD made some big plays. So
stepping up, understatement. Huge performances by that player. And, like the whole team just to keep it up, right? It's not just a team is nothing but the sum of its components, right?
2 demos already, and we're 20 seconds in.
So vehicular manslaughter, the way the business is going so far. Yeah, barely 20 seconds in, that 2.5 second respawn, not long. Now, we've seen the EGFC before. Again, these Grandmaster level games, man, they will punish you for doing stuff like that, especially if the player is on attack. Ball switches back around. There's been multiple times a respawn defensive player comes through, especially with that 34 boost. Makes play.
A little bit of a kind of bunched up, I guess you can say, in the midfield right there. Not the best formation by San Jose, but they're keeping the ball in the net still. A little bit. Yep, as I was saying it, there's something in my soul, Tug, that I was just like, this just doesn't seem like it's gonna end.
It doesn't seem right. Something bad's gonna happen. I can feel it. I got that bad feeling in my stomach, Tug. Minute in. And I think that this has been, outside of game 1 for San Jose and University of Delaware, really have not been some quick goals so far. You know, these have been something like that, 45 seconds, a minute in, not a whole lot on the board going into that.
Yep.
It tells me is that both teams are playing offensively pretty well. The defense so far is coming through and deciding the first minute or so of these games. Also, Ball has not spent very much time in the midfield, which tells me that both these teams are playing very aggressively, right? It's always on one side, which means it's one team always just trying to take the absolute on that. Now the midfield utilized for what it is, and that is mostly receiving room for long balls, and another low and slow blow from the victim member of the side of University of Delaware. And this is, for what I'm sure Delaware feels like, it's more of a return to normalcy.
Yes, I agree with that. I was going to say that we were even on shots there, but Vix said, we need to step this up a little bit. He saw a beautiful pass coming across field from Brow. He said, excuse me, get out of the way, I'm coming in. And just snuck that right in there.
Unwelcomed visitor if there ever was one. DD with a really well-placed shot. Yeah, so that was the side of University of Delaware that really just did not get a very handed hit on this. There was not a clear so much. Might have been awarded necessarily points-wise, but the clear was not so much there. 106 km/h goal on that one.
Yep. And also what we saw there, too, in the midfield was Grau went to go hit the ball, but it's Johnny was right in his way. So instead of hitting the ball, he ended up kicking Johnny halfway across the field, which then left it wide open for DD. So great way to take advantage of
there. Yeah. Oh. Apt analysis from the man Poppy. Johnny up, Johnny out. Johnny not touching this one. It's a different friend. 3 minutes. That's what's left on the clock. Rain is going to be able to accept this one. Middle. Right on the other side of there is Toaster Doggo. Gets it. Put up a little volleyball action on this one. Back and forth. Actually, maybe more like table tennis between Toaster Doggo and his opponent. Almost getting on that. Vixa trying to keep this play alive. Getting hit out and away from a teammate. Not ideal. Now, University of Delaware on defense. San Jose on offense.
And San Jose got really lucky on that push, too. Delaware almost snuck one in with a rainbow shot because their defense was pushed up too far, so no one was sitting in net. And almost sunk in, but they were saved by the crossbar, which is always a joy.
Saved by the crossbar. That sounds like a classic 90s sitcom. There we go. 2 minutes. Excuse me. Cornered here. Vixa trying to get on over. Not one. That's Johnny, and that's Toaster. And now the sidebar hitting this out. Oh my god. Acting like a backboard for some table tennis on this one. Or maybe a tennis player just playing with themselves. I don't know. That is another one. Oh my god. Toaster Doggo is there with the fourth man on the side of San Jose, because that, of course, is the crossbar. And putting in work on this one. That one being constructed with their name tattooed in the middle of the wood.
Tattooed big and clear for everybody to see.
Big heart around, UDEL, side poster, UD and SP.
Definitely some rewards need to be go towards that goal post for this one. So.
Yeah, not that this squad's going poorly, but those shots that came in were extremely fast. It would have been very hard. It would have been very hard for the one. It was impossible for the other two to get anywhere. And without that side post, been a little bit off to the side, just a little bit more, another foot. Been 2 goals now that would have seen our San Jose, Spartans come through and take. As it is, doesn't matter. 1 minute, 1-2, still anybody's game.
Yeah, that was a good comment you made. That San Jose is playing well. So is Delaware, but San Jose is definitely getting bailed out by some crossbars. What a shot coming in on there. I thought that was on top corner.
I almost just headbutted my monitor on that. Coming in on that. Trying to get like a better look at the angle. That was
let me get right in there.
Yeah, get right in there. Yeah, right. FBS players punch their monitors. Rocket League players headbutt it. Put it through, trying to understand the angle that they just saw.
Yes, it is soccer with cars, so we use our head.
Flying car soccer. Ooh, I like that.
Ooh, almost stuffed it.
Soccer. I like it, Poppy. 22 seconds. Vixa. Barely getting the tap touch. That's what I just tried to. That's what I just mixed twice in a row there. A tap against the ball, and I was almost in. 1 left for the side of San Jose. Game's not dead. Dream is dead. Excuse me, Grau. The Dream Killer. That's what we can call him.
That's what we call him.
Yep, the Reaper of Fantasies.
That's his nickname when he hits the pitch.
The Reaper of Fantasies. And with a name like Grau, I could see that.
I guess my gut's off on that one, because I was feeling a lot of heat coming in from San Jose. I thought they'd be able to get it, because it almost seemed like the defense of Delaware was a little flustered on that attack, but they were able to push out and get a goal.
Efficient Delaware defense. We love alliteration here. But as it is, game number 3 going handily against the side of University of Delaware. Now, if we're to believe history, if we're just looking at what's on paper, if we're to expect that these things will repeat itself and the San Jose State is not done quite yet, then the only thing I can expect is the next one will be a barn burner. They'll go all the way down to overtime, and then San Jose State will lose in game number 5 with 1 score versus something way higher than that, right? Like 3-1 or 1-6, excuse me. Delaware winning out handedly in the first one. Second game being just an absolute barn burner, just a slugging match between two huge boxer of teams, and a 3-2 victory for San Jose after like 120 seconds of overtime. And then game 3 going right back to game number 1. San Jose really just having it given to them in every way, shape, and form. Delaware with a lot more, just a lot more performance here, right? They have more saves, they have more assists, they have more goals, obviously, they have more shots. Everything went University of Delaware's side that time. 3-1 scoreline, pretty handed.
And something about this, it was 3-1 scoreline, but when you look at the stats, I mean, a lot of it was pretty close. Yeah, Delaware definitely, Grau and Vix are throwing so much offense at San Jose that it is kind of it's kind of choking them out a little bit. But on that one, I mean, they were really close in shots, So San Jose was putting up that offense.
Yeah, and you have a good point. Sorry.
Yeah, no, you're good.
I was just looking at the numbers, right? Like, yes, it is technically more, but that was a lot closer. Poppy, maybe a little bit more of a even-keeled and analytic look at this instead of the Tugs just signature, just fire and flames on everything, right?
Yeah, no, it was good. At the beginning of that match, I was noticing some inconsistency in Grau's play, which was weird to see from the first 2 games. And so, but within about a minute into the game, he snapped out of it real quick and was doing Grau things. So
just Grau things.
Just Grau things. I feel
sounds
like
a really like flirtatious like Tumblr account or something like that. Just Grau things, or like an IG that is only flower pictures or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
We're gonna go to a very short break. Poppy and I will be back with you guys in just a minute for game number 4 between San Jose State University, that's the Spartans, and the University of Delaware. Don't go anywhere. And we are back, Rocket League fans. Wasn't a long one at all. The Tug keeps his promises. Poppy here with me. He keeps his promises too. Now,
Yes, sir.
Juke, no guarantees there, no promises there. He's a shifty one if there ever was
Can't
one.
trust the man. Can't trust him.
Producer Juke down there helping us out, making our jobs easier. We do appreciate them. In all seriousness, it is just a joke to blame production for everything, I promise. Game number 4, San Jose State. It's coming through. University of Delaware. Run through the previous scores for this in games 1 through 3 for me.
So we have the first game. We had Delaware coming out blazing with a 6-1 victory over San Jose. Short little break and server change after that. San Jose said, we're back in this. It was a 3-2 victory, San Jose, in overtime. It was a banger of a shot. And then we come in with game 3. It was pretty even for most time, but Delaware just got the best of San Jose, winning a 3-1 scoreline on game 3.
Just getting that bare little edge there towards the end, taking it to the bank, cashing it in, taking another map victory for it. Now this is the best of 5, Poppy, is it not?
Yes, sir, it is.
So
He does not lie.
Yeah, so that. There you go. There you go. Fully swinging into the meme. I love it.
There we go.
20 seconds in. This is possibly our last game now between San Jose State and University of Delaware, I should say. San Jose takes this one. We'll go the distance, be purchasing ourselves more Rocket League, and I'm always about that buy.
Never a bad thing with more Rocket League.
Rocket League. That's what we're playing here. You thought you were watching acrobatic flying supersonic car things. I can't remember the name. Nope.
Hey, I think that was a lot closer than the first attempt.
That's fair. That's fair. Moving forward here, not paying attention to the Tugboat's mistakes anymore. Toaster Doggo with a fantastic play. That is not a mistake, but Grau coming in, slapping, proving that one again. A nice low shot, or from high to low. Excuse me. That's the way I should say it. Or from low to high. I don't know my directions here.
It's difficult. Yeah, north, south, east, west.
I went
that was a nice little slow shot
in South Carolina. You can't expect much.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah. You're right on that part. That was a nice little shot by Big. So definitely low or high and slow, which is not the actual saying, but Toaster was there to hold that. But man, again, we're seeing Grau do Grau things.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, man.
No, I was just saying we're seeing Grau do Grau things. So.
Grau do Grau things. It's a very frequent mistake for lower levels for players to come in and use too much of their boost or just a lot to try and come in just absolutely flying on these balls. And that, what we just saw, his first score from the University of Delaware, is a perfect example of not doing that. In fact, he was coming in even then a little bit too fast, but it was good because he could maintain the hitbox of his car and hit it perfectly. A little bit slower would have been the money. It's just an idea. If you're newer at Rocket League, it's one of those things you might want to pay attention to.
Yep. It's a nice try there by San Jose. They're keeping it in the zone, keeping the pressure, but man, when balls are that high up right in front of the net, that angle is very difficult.
Grau doing Grau things offense, now Grau doing Grau things on defense. Perfect round, but 3 cooks over the right side of this kitchen. Now everybody getting out. There's been a fire. I don't know. Everybody's spread apart on this as defensive squad should be. Yeah, speaking to it more, right? I think, especially looking at Rocket League as a soccer-based game, I think people think about roles too much. As it is in Rocket League, it is always the closest man, whether or not he has the most boost, right? Anybody should be able to play defense. Anybody should be able to play offense. And a Rocket League team is marked by its evenness of player in those respective roles.
This is true. We are away from the good old days where there was a dedicated goalie in Rocket League. So when a player takes that pitch, they need to be able to do a little bit of everything.
Now, here's an interesting one. Well, we're kind of in the middle here. Nobody's losing or winning in the next 60 seconds. How would you... Oh, that was a beautiful
what
shot.
a
Never mind.
touch,
Screw what I have to say. Johnny came flying
Screw
in.
what you have to say, Tug. Johnny is playing Rocket League.
Johnny is the man right here.
Wow.
Coming, screaming his name, making sure nobody will forget that one. Nice tie-up factor. And I am lost in what he was even saying before. Oh, no, I wasn't. The tugboat never... Like an elephant, the tugboat never forgets. So, opinions. What do you think about possibly having like a defensive player, an offensive player, and then, kind of one of both, in that, the defensive player, the goalie would get like maybe a little more, like he has a bigger hitbox, or like the offensive player is like a little bit faster, like his base speed is a little bit faster, or something like that.
You're talking about like if you were to play like some sort of sports game where if you picked, we'll say football, so like a receiver or something, you have different attributes than a quarterback kind of thing. Is that what you're going toward?
kind of, but and that the roles in that would be far more segregated, right? Like it would be way easier to tell. Obviously, linebackers don't throw balls like quarterbacks do.
Yes,
What I'm
of course.
saying in this game is if like there was a special game like limited time mode or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Fixa, putting the second one up right here. If I think it'd be interesting if kind of like you had roles like in other games, right? Like your support, like defense, a tank, stuff like this, right? So
Yeah.
you had like a goalie who was a goalie who could leave if he wanted to, but like say he's slower but has a bigger hitbox, so like he's a little bit slower, so he can't be getting the balls just like your offensive players, but he's got a bigger hitbox so he can block balls way easier, or something like that. And then like the offensive players like a little bit faster or sleeker, or they have a better like demolition rate or something like that, or something like this.
I honestly think that would be really cool as like an extra mode.
Yeah.
Like I think
Not
that
the
would be
main,
really
Not the main, of course, but yeah.
Kind of to jump onto that just a little off from what you're talking about, but I remember a few years ago in competitive Rocket League, like the RLCS, you would play the fantasy Rocket League. You still do, but a lot of it was chosen off of like where that player mostly like does most of their work. So a lot, we'll say with old school C9, where when you had, I am blanking. Torment was a huge defensive player. Well, so you would always pick him to, okay, he'll get points for saves. I think now the way that Rocket League's going is it's a lot of level. Obviously, we have some people that are just nuts in the professional scene that can shoot the ball from anywhere. But I think it's a lot more level where when people are putting teams together, they pick players that can do everything.
For fantasy Rocket League?
Well, and just in actual like RLCS teams
gotcha.
and stuff as well. So
I think what I'm hearing is that it has become a little bit harder to play fantasy Rocket League because people are more even-keeled, and with your various positions, you have to start, sit, just like in fantasy football with your different roles. You're saying it's a little bit harder to play?
A little bit.
We'll get to that more in a second. We're looking at 12 seconds here. This is a very, very close game. I'm not going to do the disservice, the wicked injustice of San Jose State and University of Delaware coming down to a game like this and not getting the screamed and yelled about in classic FBI tugboat form. 11 seconds to go. This one going the way of blue so far. Fixa with a quarter. That's actually blocked out the last second by It's Johnny. A new lease on life purchased from the side of San Jose with this left. This touches and it's done. Didi's landing this one out. We're going the distance. We're going game 5.
We're going game 5. We are going game 5. It's Johnny has been the center of attention for me on San Jose. Like, he has been someone that when they need him most, he's there. And we see him fly in the air. It is, yeah.
When he was needed most.
I mean, we are going to game 5 here, Tug. So this is basically
might as well be a Rocket League cinematic, right?
Oh yeah, 100%. This is a movie. We're living a movie right now.
Yeah, we're gonna give these teams a second to kind of think about what they want to do coming in the game number 5, right? Give them a little bit of rest for the weary, figure out what they want to do while we get this lobby set up. We'll be back with you guys for the conclusion of our game 5, going the distance again. San Jose State taking on University of Delaware. And we are back, Rocket League fans. We have an exciting one ahead of us for sure. Game number 5 going down now between San Jose State. That's the Spartans taking on the University of Delaware. Now, do you have any idea what the mascot is for the University of Delaware, Poppy?
No, but Google is my friend.
Google is our friend. We literally have the knowledge of the world at the end of our fingertips. Now, you and I were born in a time when not everybody had these mini computers in their pocket, because you said you're not much younger than I am, and I am archaically old for esports, y'all. That's 28. Hit 30, might as well put in my blue papers. You start getting Social Security.
This is true. So we're looking at the University of Delaware is the Fighting Blue Hens.
The Fighting Blue Hens. We have Spartans taking on the Fighting Blue Hens. Now, given the tenacity of various fighting chickens, being a University of South Carolina Gamecocks fan myself, I almost have to pull for the University of Delaware.
Almost have to. You almost have to. But I'll say, I mean, Spartans and Fighting Hens, they really are going at it.
Yes. I've seen 300. I know how that would go in real life. It'd be very slow motion, but
Slow motion.
there'd be a lot of screaming and fealty, swears to deities and other things like this.
Very dark.
And then just a lot of clucking on the other side, right? There's a lot of,
Yes.
confused clucking. Now, interesting thing about domestication, wild turkeys are so smart that they can recognize when it is turkey. I don't hunt at all. I know I'm from South Carolina, and that's the meme, but I don't hunt at all. It's not really my thing. The wild turkeys are so smart that they know when hunting season is. Oh my God! What a pop out by Johnny. Yeah, I'm over here talking about random factoids of life when just because they haven't scored very much the first minute.
I feel like you start telling a story and Johnny says, "Okay, Tug, it's my turn now."
Okay, Tug. Yep, there you go. Grau as well with the shut up Tug 1 minute in, and that's going to be University of Delaware up 1-0 so far.
Johnny was so close on that one. He was in the right position, just a little too far to the right. That was a good effort by Johnny to get in the front of Grau.
That was 127 kilometers shot in there, and a crazy two-man stop in the beginning. Not frequent you'll see that there. I'll continue my turkey story later.
You said 127?
127 kilometers, that's what it was.
Okay, I feel like it might have pinched off Johnny then. I heard something when that shot went off, it almost sounded like a pinch. I feel like he might have pinched it off of Johnny, which is what made it so fast.
Odd video cues, there you go. Poppy over here saying that he can cast with only the sound of Rocket League.
Only the sound of Rocket League. Speaking of the man himself, that's Johnny.
It's Johnny! It's that, which is not a quote from The Shining. I thought it was, but It's Johnny is from something else, or it's just that. It's I can't remember what the quote from The Shining is when he,
He says, "Here's Johnny."
Here's Johnny. That's what it was. Thank you, producer, and thank you, Master Poppy. I'm all about my movie quotes and stuff, so it would have kept me up at night if I could remember that one. 90 seconds in. Grau putting up his second, correct? Grau putting up his second.
Grau
3 shots, 2 goals.
We're seeing some missed touches from Didi again, which is what we saw in game 2. But we saw in game 2, once I said the words, Didi said, "All right, Poppy, I'm gonna get in there."
I'm gonna get in there. I'm gonna prove my father proud. It's Johnny. The side. Toaster Doggo. Receiving this into their side. This is a San Jose State squad that really needs to put up another one in the next 30 seconds or so. Not just to make a statement, but just to stop this progress. University of Delaware has been holding on to possession the lion's share plus more.
Yeah, I agree. It's definitely, like you said, not so much for the win, putting another goal in right now, but it's just to help that momentum that Delaware is running off of right now.
It really is a lot of it, right? Cruise control, foot on the gas, breaking speed limits, whatever driving puns you want to apply here, they're all fit. All of them fit. Toaster with a well-placed defensive pass from this. Didi Dream was not dead on there, but it's a great shot by Grau to keep defensive time alive. Yes, indeed, it's exciting.
I enjoy watching Johnny's perspective, because what I'm seeing from Johnny is he really is looking at a lot of these plays 2 steps ahead. Just the way that he's positioned himself. It's very good. It's very good.
Johnny Rocket out here looking into the future, leaving the rest of us scrubs in the dust, the past. It really does seem like that, man. It really does seem like that. Johnny the Sixth Sense. DD across the middle here. Grau with a nice hit out. That'll be cleared for the time being. That's perfectly centered. And that's little Toaster Doggo just taking the walk for that one over the side, escorting it. But doesn't matter. Vixa bringing it back. University of Delaware now tripling up against San Jose State University.
It's those dominant touches, man. That was such a slight little touch that got it over the San Jose defense. That was a beautiful play by Vixa.
There's art that we are witnessing, my friend. There's art comes in many different forms.
Exactly.
Rain trying to make a painting of his own. Almost got that one, but a fantastic defensive performance and almost walked in. That's a decent angle, but Vixa, the third man back, great rotations yields University of Delaware not giving up another.
This is true. Oh, and just giving it right back. Johnny demoed on their end. They said, "Here, Johnny, shake my hand. I got something."
I can do it. Yeah, Johnny Rocket will make you explode. I don't know. 80 seconds over here. Hey, Johnny Rocket taking it from the top. Oh, Vixa, last second, but under Toaster. But Rain gets that one, stops it. Nicely done.
Good. DD almost got in there. Almost got in there. Just a second quicker, that would have been. Some touch with the purse.
Rao, decent out there. That's not a bad angle for either team, though. DD getting past that one with the mismanagement of boost for the time being. Vixa with nothing in the tank, but going up for it regardless. Toaster a little bit well equipped down bottom, now on board. Got DD here, trying to make it around. Under is knocked away by Johnny. Yeah, that's a decent little angle. Toaster Doggo trying to come in for the 1-2 slap, little alley-oop action to finish the dunk, but Johnny trying to get out here, rotating back now is the side of San Jose.
We have seen really good backboard defense by Delaware. That's for sure. And a lot of what we're seeing right now is the aggression that Delaware had in games 1 and 4. Or 3. Games 1 and 3.
It's yielded them a lot of value there. Really just trying to recreate that. University of Delaware doing well so far. San Jose and all of their losses only put up a single
Crunch
score.
time.
Yep. Towards the end, Rock and Hard Play is getting closer. Sand falling out of the hourglass is now. That is it. Even if the ball is grounded in 5 minutes from now, doesn't matter. They can only score once. 3-2-1 at least will be the W victory for University of Delaware. 1-3. They've done that twice. Yes, that was their games 3 and games 5 win. 1-6, still keeping San Jose State Spartans down to a single score in games 1, 3, and 5. Like you said, the odd numbers there kind of proving a little bit different.
Yeah. And sorry, but I mean, if San Jose has anyone to blame, it's Tug, because he predicted earlier that if it kept going this way, Delaware was going to take it.
We leaked the script, guys. As all commentators know, we already know what happened, right? This happened a week ago. We know exactly what's happened. I can't even tell you how many times I've seen this entire game played out all the way through. So I can just pretend like I can see the future and stuff. And we choose who wins here. But even so, surprising there. But all the meaning aside, sorry. San Jose State. It is kind of surprising, but I think that you talked about it a little bit, about how the effect that the hosting service might have been, right?
Yeah. I mean, when you have two teams that are on opposite sides of the U.S., the servers are going to be rough for one team and the other. So, I mean, praise the Juke for jumping back and forth. That was really good. But I mean, even in that, there's still effort that you can give in that. And really, besides outside of game 1, their ping was not that bad, from at least watching from the tab. It didn't spike like it did in game 1. So overall, that was a great series. I'm glad that it went down to game 5. Really am. As we were talking about at the beginning, both of these teams put up fights in their other matchups. So I'm glad to see that it went all the way. It's good. Always
here for extra Rocket League rounds, right? We got, and speaking of extra Rocket League rounds, we got loads more coming through now. Unfortunately, I believe this was your last with the Tug for today, right?
For today, yes, sir.
My heart, I will try to handle it, my friend.
It's okay,
but
man.
We got.
Yeah,
no, I hear you. I hear you. Quite literally, man's got to eat. Man's got to
eat. Eat.
So yes, today is the 28th, correct? Yes, today is the 28th. We got, after San Jose State University of Delaware, yes, that is William and Mary taking on Wichita State University. Now, Wichita State University in their game 1, if I remember right, put up double-digit points against their opponent multiple times. It was beat down if there ever was one. Closest to online bullying I've ever casted. William and Mary is a very, very good squad, though.
Yes.
And I believe this will be the first time that they're playing Wichita this season. Yes, William and Mary. Yeah, so William and Mary came through 0-3 against Hofstra game 1. William and Mary, where you at? Well, yeah, 0-3 loss against San Jose. And then week 3, I just saw you. Yeah, so they lost to University of Delaware as well. So have not played Wichita State University quite so far. We will see how this goes when we return.
Yes,
I'm
sir.
FBI Tugboat. Poppy has been casting with me. I very much appreciate that. You can find him out on his Twitter that I do believe is right below over there. Nope, other way. Right below
By
over
the way,
there.
there
There
it
you
is.
go.
Right there.
There you
Yep.
go, guys. It would be absolute folly to not go and follow Poppy on Twitter right now, just like it would be folly if you didn't get to follow me, my man Juke down there producing, as well as the EGFC over there on Twitter, and follow up with all the crazy Rocket League action that'll happen. There'll be more Game 5s like this we just had between San Jose State and University of Delaware coming out on top of that in the Game 5 barn burner right there. I'll be back with you guys in just a few minutes for the next matchup, which is between, I just said it a second ago, yes, William and Mary and Wichita State University. And we are back, Rocket League fans. I have a pleasant surprise for you. I was incorrect. We have my man Poppy here for another game. Oh,
We're
bring
back
down
in.
the roof.
We're back
We
again.
got Soy coming on here casting with me for the next game, but yes, we got Poppy for another barn burner of a Rocket League match. I am
We like to keep y'all
absolutely elated. I'm ecstatic. We got Juke producing away, making our jobs as casters just so much easier. I said that once, and I've just liked the phrasing since, so I'm a creature of habit again, Poppy. I will say it every single time. William and Mary taking on Wichita State. Now, William and Mary coming in this one 2-1, I believe. We talked a little bit about this before the break.
A little bit, yeah, a little bit.